Nobody move.
Nobody gets hurt.
I'm Nick G.
I'm Mike D.
And this is Good Cop, Bad Cop. I'd like to thank our sponsors today, Pop McCann Whiskey, smoothest drink in the land. Grab your bottle today at popsmccannwhiskey.com. Also like to thank Friends of Martina White. Visit votemartina.com for more information about the work Martina has been doing as state representative of Pennsylvania. We would also like to thank our sponsor, Beyond Creative. If you're ready to take your online presence to the next level, visit beyondocreative.com or call 267-362-WEB1 to discuss your project. And our title sponsor, AR Law, arjusticenow.com. We fight so you don't have to. Adams Renzi Law. We would also like to thank our sponsor, Morrow Flooring, hardwood, laminate, vinyl, tile, and carpet. You get military and first responders discount. That is Morrow Flooring. You can go to goodcopbadcoppodcast.com. Click on his link for more details. All right, welcome back to another great episode of Good Cop, Bad Cop Podcast. I'm Nick G.
I'm Mike D.
I see you have your Zelensky Halloween outfit on.
Yeah, I am Vladimir. Call me Vladimir.
Vladimir
Zelensky.
Zelensky. Yeah, you look great. I'm glad you dressed up for this. Thank you.
This is part of my new.
Don't you own a suit?
I do. I have a red sequined jacket.
Oh yes, you do. Yeah, I've seen you wearing that.
That was You think? Did you see me in it last week?
Oh, I saw you in it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What do you think of it?
I mean, yeah, I told you I like it. It looks
good. Do you like the Vlad better?
I like no. I like
You like the red?
The Vlad. So that's what it's called. Dude, do me a favor.
This is the Vlad.
Loosen up. Stop looking like Zelensky.
This is. I'm gonna do a Zelensky. Zelensky.
Guy's such a little. Right?
Could you imagine?
Yeah.
You've been invited to the White House, the most prestigious location on the planet. We think, anyway.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. But when you listen to the left, hello everybody. No guests today, just us.
Ripping it.
Yeah, we're continuing from our last episode where we will be discussing the State of the Union, the state of affairs in this country,
the current climate of political activism and whatnot.
Yeah, Ukraine, Zelensky, the Oval Office. You know, again, I believe it was Band of Brothers. Right, had a great line in it where everyone hated that this Sobel and Dick Winters was under him, and then throughout the war, Sobel was kind of disgraced and sent back into like a training regiment, and Winters was a war hero, kept going on, getting promoted in the field. And finally, they crossed paths one day, and Sobel was a lesser rank at this point. And, Winters was, when it started out, it was reversed. Winters worked under Sobel.
Right.
And he broke his stones and harassed him. And driving by, and Sobel tried to ignore him, and he says, whatever, Captain Sobel, you salute the rank, not the person. And it made him give him a salute.
Correct.
And it's even...
listen, in the police department, it was the same way.
Thing, yeah. And something that when I first started as a cop, I like too. I'm not really big into the ass kissing thing, but the guy said, "Let me give you a piece of advice, kid. This is like a lieutenant, Vietnam vet, grizzly salty veteran." Said, "Just remember this: the toes you tread on today could be attached to the ass you kiss tomorrow." Very true. And I'm not saying you have to go kiss someone's butt, but be careful on how you tread. But that being said. Even in politics, especially with the President of the United States, you respect the office.
Slow to speak, quick to listen. Is that not good advice, right?
Yep.
Right, because we all regret some of the... listen, I'd be the first to raise my hand. I've regretted many of the things I've said. In fact, you and I have had a couple of riffs where we both regretted some of the things that we've said to each other.
Yeah, I said some nasty stuff to my ex, although she deserved it. I shouldn't have said it. I regret saying it now.
Yeah, and I do that on a daily basis sometimes, brother. I'm being honest with you. I should be quicker to listen and slow to speak because, I mean, sometimes people consider that actually intelligence almost, right? Because those that are slow to speak, you don't know what they're thinking, but you know that they're thinking.
Right.
So it keeps them in that like secretively intelligent seeming mode because when we open our mouths, most of us are complete idiots.
Yeah, so this is off the cuff. Remind me of something, what you just said. I remember watching this stupid mobster movie. I think it was a very bad movie. But anyway, he goes, the kid was supposed to come in and say something, and they're like, let's see who he comes to, who he thinks the boss is. And he comes over and he whatever he gave to the person he thought was in charge. And that's how they that they delegate that. You ever look at that? You ever watch people when you're with a group and someone has to come up and talk to someone in charge, and you always look to see who they go to talk to?
Meanwhile, there's the boss over there. Yes.
You ever
yes, I've seen that and watched it from different locations. Oftentimes it's race-based too. Just, they'll see a black guy, a white guy, and a Spanish guy, and even the Spanish guys or the black guys will go to the white guy and ask what's going on. There's facts. Because on construction sites, you see that. Meanwhile, the boss is the black guy or the Hispanic guy. I mean, I've seen it myself. So it's really pretty, I guess, awkward in a way.
Yeah,
too,
I love watching that. It's my favorite, especially when I'm out with the boss. I love to see who they come up to first.
Yeah. So it's a learning process, and
usually how you carry yourself. A lot of times, bosses just aren't. They're kind of left-leaning and weak, low T.
But it ain't like Trump then.
No, absolutely not. And
getting back to the Trump and Zelensky.
Segue back into Trump and Zelensky. If you watch that meeting in the Oval Office, it was an absolute disgrace. They're supposed to be there, and I've heard this argument already. If they were there to sign the agreement that had the mineral rights, the truce that the U.S. was setting up, why wasn't there a signing table and pens? And that's what you're supposed to do. Well, a lot of times they have an interview and a media session before the signing. They had a signing set up at 5 p.m. that day.
Right, that's correct. That night.
People were saying, where's the signing table at? That was them to ambush to ambush Zelensky, because you had Rubio, J.D. Vance, and Trump, and they knew they weren't going to sign. No, it was set up for later that day, and they were doing the media thing earlier.
Okay, here's something that everybody has overlooked, and I shouldn't say everybody, but many people have overlooked. What did Zelensky do before he met with Trump?
I don't know.
He met with Senate Democrats.
Yes.
Now, let me ask you a question. This is just my logic. Why? Why would you meet with people that have no power? Zero. They have no say in anything right now in our politic in America. Nothing.
He shouldn't be meeting with them at all.
So there's a reason they met. And there's a reason they surreptitiously went around the President of the United States, which I'm going to get into a little heavy. That's treason. Because this man is coming to our country to discuss the future of his country, and you have people behind our president in a war footing because we're supporting a war in Ukraine. We are supporting the war. And rather than him speak to our president, we have people behind the scenes of our president telling him, don't speak to the president.
Is that what they're telling him?
Yes, they say, speak to us. We'll tell you how we're going to go around this deal. Why? Because they're all in bed, bro. They're all in bed making money.
Yep.
They're laundering money. And they're telling Zelensky things of this nature. Now, don't quote me because I'm not there. Don't worry about your mineral deal. Sign the mineral deal. When we get back in power, we're going to erase the mineral deal. You just keep that money funneling back to the Democratic Party the way you've been doing for the last 4 or 5 years. Now, I wasn't in the meeting. I didn't see that happen. But I'm sharp enough to understand that that's what took place. So what we're saying is this. Bongino and Kash Patel and Homeland Security, that those people were undermining the United States of America at that moment 100%. Not maybe, 100%. Because there's no reason for that meeting to take place.
No, there isn't.
Zero.
Well, I mean, he also I think first time ever, he had a foreign leader campaign. He campaigned for Kamala Harris.
For Harris.
Yeah, he was in Pennsylvania with Josh Shapiro.
When he got shot at.
Yeah. He was touring ammunition factories with Josh Shapiro. I believe Kamala Harris was there.
Harris.
It was a campaign stunt.
Yeah.
First time ever, you had a foreign leader interject themselves into our politics. I mean, this guy, he's you can look into what he's done. He's eliminated and he banned his political opponents.
He banned their press. He threw out their constitution for the war.
People have been getting bodies have been dropped. His opposition. There's a lot of shady things going on over there. They haven't had an election in 4 or 5 years.
Well, I would suggest that maybe even our own CIA working with them.
No, there's 100%. People seem to forget that Zelensky and Putin had a deal in place, and he was going to sign it. And it was our CIA that stepped forward
and said don't.
And don't.
Yes.
And then they're the ones that encouraged NATO to encroach. And Putin, and listen, I'm no fan of Putin. I'm not on the Russian side. But
I'm starting to become one, just so you know, because at this point, I don't like these people. And if they're back in control, I'd rather be with him.
Well, listen, he had a red line. You cannot encroach on our boundaries with NATO anymore.
Right.
That was it. And we, for years, have been doing that.
Right.
Democratic leaders prior knew not to do that. And what did Biden and his administration do? They crossed his red line. They forced his hand. They knew this was going to happen. This was all part of the plan.
Right.
Again, Trump getting elected, they thought would never happen. Fell in, he screwed up the works again. And people don't understand, like, the 5D chess that's going on. The mineral rights that we have here, Putin will have some of them.
Of course
we'll
he will.
be paying Putin money. You understand? Oh, what if Putin breaks the truce? Why is he going to break the truce? He gains some land. He goes back. He looks like a hero. He won, even though the rest of the world knows he lost.
Of course.
Right? Now, Poland, NATO right now, the Red Army, what if they're going to invade? He couldn't take Ukraine. He lost 200,000 people. His ammunition's depleted. Yeah. There's no red wave in any other country.
Yeah. First of all, let's be honest. Let's be honest with each other. He could take Ukraine tonight if he wanted to.
I don't know. I don't think he can.
I know he can.
I don't think he can.
Yeah, well, they call nuclear bombs.
Oh, well,
okay?
Listen, you're going
no.
step.
No, to say that he can't take Ukraine is not accurate. To say to take Ukraine, it's not in his best interest to take Ukraine because he'd have to annihilate the country.
Then you're not taking anything. You're destroying everything.
Well, I mean, he could do that.
Yeah, nuclear thermal war.
But I don't get those people say he can't.
Conventionally, he can't do it. He can't do it conventionally, which means Europe and NATO are ramping up, saying, "Oh, we can do it without the United States. We're going to do this." Well, go ahead, because first off, you don't need to. He can't invade any other country. It doesn't have the means anymore. Right. He would have to have nukes to do it, and that pretty much defeats the purpose of what he wanted to do.
Right.
That being said, we're going to be paying him mineral rights. This is all about AI and computer chips. We need all these mineral rights for this.
Right.
This is for the future. This isn't for today. China is our enemy.
It's a global
right
enemy.
Now. It's our global enemy.
Yes.
Trump has already pushed them back. I don't know if you've seen Blackwater, which I don't trust, or
no.
BlackRock.
Who does? Yeah.
Just took over control of the Panama Canal from China.
Okay.
All right.
Right.
Great
Did
for
they?
us.
I didn't.
Yeah, BlackRock, I believe, has superseded, and they're taking over parts of the Panama Canal, which Jimmy Carter gave up. We never should have given up control of. And China.
Well, he's got the price of peanut butter doubled under the peanut farmer. Do you know that?
That sounds like what?
Yeah.
Today or
no? Under Jimmy Carter.
Under Jimmy Carter. Worst president ever.
Yeah. When he was a peanut farmer.
Was the worst president.
The second worst.
Great man. Listen, great man for his works and what he's done.
He did a lot of humanitarian
Politically
things.
Terrible.
Yes. Yeah, he did a lot of humanitarian things that you have to say that was very
we should
magnanimous.
Be able to
it was
separate
magnanimous.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Biden took over the reign as the worst president ever because he wasn't even alive for it, to be honest with you.
No.
Anyway, going back to now we have the Panama Canal back.
The price of peanut butter I was talking about with Jimmy Carter.
Yeah.
It doubled, under him.
No.
See, we lived on peanut butter. My family, 7 kids. We had peanut butter and jelly every day for lunch, okay? It was affordable, and it was tasty. This son of a bitch takes office, and it doubles the price of peanut butter.
I still eat peanut butter and jelly, dude. I get them Uncrustables almost every day at Wawa. They're the greatest things ever.
I never heard of them until the other day.
Dude.
I was in, I don't know, it was Arizona? I was in Vegas, and I
they should be a damn sponsor.
I'll segue, yeah. What do they call it?
Uncrustables.
So I'm in Walmart, and I have my medical card. I have to spend, otherwise I lose it.
Uh-huh.
So every month I get like $85 on my medical card, right? So if I don't swipe it, either at a Walmart or a Piggly Wiggly, whatever the name of this place.
You can get Uncrustables?
You can get Uncrustables.
Dude, get me some Uncrustables.
So I had to spend it. It was in Vegas. And I had 1 day left. So I'm with my buddy, and that's put me up in Vegas for a couple of days. And then I was in the Mob Museum doing a podcast at the Mob Museum.
Check that out.
Get that out there. Soon. Yeah. So I did the Mob Museum podcast. That night I had to spend the money. So I go, listen, dude, if I don't spend this, I lose it. And last year I lost like $1,500 I didn't spend on the card, which pisses me off. Who wouldn't? It's your money to spend.
Right. Listen, we're not rich. We don't make any money off of this. So Mike needs his help right now.
Yeah, the Crunchables.
Yeah.
So Crustables. So I swiped the card, and he's putting these boxes. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I think it's the sweet thing. What? Pop-Tarts. I think he's putting Pop-Tarts in the car. It turns out it was a Crustables.
Did you try one?
It was delicious.
They're awesome, aren't they?
It was fucking
they're
delicious.
Like crack, dude. You can't eat one. I try not to get them because I'll rip through a box before I get home from the store. I could see that
with some milk. Oh my God!
Except they're frozen. So my fat ass, I put one behind. I put two behind my back to warm it up, and then I put the heater on and just hold it against the damn thing so I can eat it before I get home because they're so damn good.
Yes.
Anyway, the Panama Canal is back in U.S. control. The mineral rights over in Ukraine. We get the mineral rights, which is going to help us with our AI. And guess who doesn't get the mineral rights? China. China will get the mineral rights if we don't get this deal done.
Yes,
China will
because
step in.
They're going to hook up with Russia and just take it anyway.
And guess what? Now we're cozying up to Russia again. Russia doesn't need to deal with China. We do not want China and Russia being together.
Unified. No.
This keeps China out of the region.
Right.
And from what I understood, I think Trump said something about going back in Afghanistan and taking Bagram Air Base.
Why not?
And getting back our equipment.
Our equipment,
there.
yeah.
I 100% agree with that.
100%. Yes. Take the base, put 5,000 men there. This way you're centrally located in that region.
Guess what's in Afghanistan? Minerals.
Poppies.
Minerals. Yeah, besides poppies.
Lots of poppies.
Rare earth minerals that in Ukraine that we need. Biden is an idiot.
Yeah,
did all this to usurp
He sold it out,
Trump.
bro.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
He's been in China's pocket since the 80s.
Okay, so what people,
so hold on, go back to the 80s.
What people are missing here is this.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Go back to the 80s. Joe Biden was the one pushing China. We need to let them steal our stuff because they're in the Stone Age.
Yes.
And it'll be good for the America if they're
China's
a producer.
middle class.
Yeah.
If China's middle class was purchasing our products.
Right. We can be a trade partner with them. It's a good thing for us.
Yes.
And Biden has been in their pocket, and I'm sure we can prove that he's been getting paid by the commies, China, for a long time. And that leads us to now. Why did we get out of Afghanistan like so? No reason to do the way he did it.
I have no idea. I mean, because he wanted the date, 9/11 date or something like that, to be like, on 9/11 we're free. Yeah, that's what he did it for.
China.
To make a statement.
I'd like to thank our sponsors today, Martina White. Friends of Martina White can visit votemartina.com for more information about the work Martina's been doing as a state representative in Pennsylvania. And let me tell you, Mike, she's a big supporter of police. She backs the blue. She's a proven fighter for families, women, everybody.
Is she a patriot? Is she America first?
Absolutely. She encompasses, the American spirit for sure. We have a big population of listeners in Northeast Philadelphia, Southeast Pennsylvania, which would be her area. So you can check her out.
Has she been in? I'm not familiar with the Philly district. Is she new to the scene, or is she looking for re-election?
She'll be up for re-election in a couple years, but she's been around for a while. She has a proven track record.
Okay.
You can check her out. Her record really speaks for itself, especially when it comes to fighting for everyday citizens and backing the blue.
It's nice to have someone back in the blue. I mean, the officers are out there risking their lives every day, and with little pay and little appreciation in today's environment, it's been very difficult. And as you know, being a Philadelphia guy,
unfortunately, it's something that's not common. Should be. It used to be a time where both sides of the aisle agreed on law enforcement, and that's something that's completely lacking. But with Martina White, she steps up to the plate, always has our backs, and does what's right.
Great. Good luck with Martina.
Yeah, you can get more information at votemartina.com. I'd like to thank our title sponsor of the show, Adams Renzi Law, AR Law. They can be found at arjusticenow.com. And just to let you know, I know both of them personally. Christy, one of the nicest people you'll ever meet, total sweetheart, absolute pit bull in the courtroom. And Nick Renzi, he's a South Philadelphia guy, true and true, neighborhood man. He's for the people. He helps people out down in South Philly, all around Philadelphia.
Their offices in South Philly itself?
Yes, their office in right around South Philly, Center City, right on the border.
Do they handle a lot of criminal cases?
They handle everything, absolutely.
Are they on call 24/7 for someone who might take a pinch somewhere?
Why, you might be taking a pinch?
Well, I mean, you never know. I mean, wherever you show up, you got to be ready.
Well, you can keep their card on you. Go to their website and call them up.
Will they give me a deal since they're sponsors of the show?
You might get a percentage off. I'll have to talk to her.
Okay. Yeah.
If you used them a few years ago, you might have not have gotten 14 years.
Well, that's another story.
Another story for another time.
That's right.
Again, AR Law, check them out. arjusticenow.com. We would also like to thank our sponsor, Beyond.0. In today's world, your business is practically invisible if you're not online. With so many options for marketing your business, it's easy to get confused. That's where Beyond.0 Creative steps in. They have the expertise to help you with all of your marketing needs. Need a website that wows visitors? They'll build it. Want to reach more customers with Google Ads? They'll make it happen. They'll even manage your social media so you can focus on what you do best. Beyond.0 Creative is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau and Google Premier Partner. They're the real deal. If you're ready to take your online presence to the next level, visit beyondocreative.com. That's BIONDOCREATIVE.com or call 267-362-WEB1, Web 1, to discuss your project now. I'd like to thank our sponsor, Morrow Flooring, hardwood, laminate, vinyl, tile, and carpet, military first responder discount. You know, Tommy, we had him as a guest on a podcast. You can get your flooring done by a real American hero.
Yeah, and he's on time and on budget.
Yes, he is. He will beat any price. Bring a quote, an estimate, whatever you have. Tommy will beat it, 100% guaranteed. You have our backing on that one.
And he'll be there himself.
Absolutely. You can get a real American hero do your flooring for you. Everything comes back to China.
Here's what I think, and here's what I'm gonna suggest to our audience, to yourself, whoever's listening, whoever gives that everybody in Biden's administration that you see put in places of any kind of importance has been involved in those NGOs and in back dealing with the whole Ukrainian situation. Like this guy, Jake Sullivan.
Yeah, well, he's one that's been kind of running the presidential office.
Yeah, well,
he's the president.
You know she's the president.
Oh, yeah.
Jill was the president.
Jill
Let's be honest.
And Jake.
Let's be honest. Jill was the president.
Yeah.
I mean,
she's running cabinet meetings.
I mean, yeah.
You know what's rich is they were complaining that Trump let Elon talk at a cabinet meeting. Meanwhile, Jill Biden was running cabinet meetings when they had one.
Yeah.
I think they went a year without a cabinet meeting.
Yeah,
Jill, it's unheard of.
Jill, and of course her boyfriend Hunter, which you know, you agree with me now, right? That they've had intimate.
Dude, I don't know about that.
Come on,
I don't know.
Oh, come on.
With that screwed up family.
Come on.
I mean, I'm not going to say it's far fetched.
Did you see the look on her face when he was blasted on the he was out on the what would you call that, the widow's peak, whatever you call that, when they step out on the platform above the outside.
Listen, we're better than going to that garbage.
Oh, come on.
We have higher standards here at Good Cop, Bad Cop. Yeah, this side does.
Well, I'm bad.
Okay.
And I know that I know there's something wrong with that.
What do you mean you know something's wrong with him? Obviously something's wrong with him. The most perverse.
He was blasted and she's looking at him like this.
This is a true story.
She was jealous.
Listen.
She wasn't looking at him like, I'm mad at you for getting high. She's looking at him like, where's mine, motherfucker? They got the package. They left the package in the goddamn locker that they found. And Jill's like, you son of a bitch, that was my love.
Yo, I met.
Come on.
I met one of Biden's nieces.
You're not going to feed into that?
I'm going to tell you. I met one of Joe Biden's nieces, and it was her, right? Met her 2014, 2015.
Okay.
And she told us everything that was been coming out the last 6 years. She told me and my boy then all this stuff. How much scumbags they were, what's going on, all kinds of stuff. And dude, we were just like, wow, really? And then as the years came by, everything she told us in 2015 started to come out. I'm like, wow, she really told us the truth, man. That's a true story. I was in Xfinity Live down at the 97.5 The Fanatic. Should be a sponsor. They had some kind of event down in Philly, and she was there.
Was she actually being interviewed or just
no, we were drinking, hanging out.
Hanging out.
Yeah, she's I'm Joe Biden's niece. I said, okay.
Oh yeah, was she?
Yeah, she was all right.
Yeah.
I didn't.
What? Yeah.
I didn't say nothing bad about. I didn't say nothing bad until she said she don't like Biden. I was like, yeah, I hate Biden too. If she would have said I love Joe Biden, I'd go, yeah, man, Joe Biden's my guy. Go Obama.
Yeah, lick this.
At that point,
lick this lollipop. Yeah,
at this point.
Yeah. So anyway, so there's a lot of things that we can surmise, right? We're pretty reasonably intelligent, reasonably, not overly. I mean,
your intuition
maybe
tells
120, 123. I don't know that range. 126, my IQ is, but maybe I don't even know. Maybe it's 110. So it depends on what.
I think I'm 110.
I think what the subject matter is, but the point is that we are reasonably intelligent, discerning individuals, basically trained in the police world, that we know to look not at what we see. It's look at what you don't see and figure out what's going on in any dynamics situation. And believe me,
did you use that in your criminal enterprise too? Was that how you
look at what I don't see?
Yeah. See what's going
that's
on.
That's how I
Is that how you pick your victims?
That's how I pick my victims. You're such a bastard. They weren't victims.
Well, they're bad guys too.
They're
I
bad
get
guys.
It.
So I victimized bad guys.
Yeah, I get it. If I'm
I mean, they did me too.
Yeah.
I mean, I get victimized by my own family. I mean, let me in your house, and all of a sudden I come home, it's empty. What the hell happened there?
That sounds like a personal problem.
Sounds like a personal problem.
That's a you problem.
I remember coming home one day back in the 80s, and
hold on. We'll save that for the next episode.
There's a note.
From your wife?
We'll save that for the next time.
We'll save that for the next
save
time.
That for the next time.
Anyway, back to Ukraine and
Yes.
Zelensky. I think it's time. The Ukrainians.
Let me ask you. Do you think Bongino and Kash Patel should launch an investigation into the whole meeting prior?
So this is, again, you were just talking about look behind and all that. So
Right.
This is what I think. If you know Dan Bongino, he's written books about the Ukraine and follow the money.
Right.
He knows where all the skeletons are buried on this side. Now he has access to the closet.
To the stuff that they wouldn't
I
get.
think one of the reasons why he was made that was to go after them. I really believe that he's going to expose the corruption. Like I said, he's already written books about it. He knows he's exposed them. And again, any other time, and I would like to think in our history, the media would have picked up on this.
They don't. Yeah.
And it'd be,
They're burying it.
sensationalized.
Yeah.
Sensational.
Sensational.
Sensational. That's it. I told you I can't.
Yeah,
I used to have a very good vocabulary.
Yeah,
All my concussions got.
It happens.
But
Sensimilia.
yeah,
Sensimilia.
sensimilia. Is that really a word?
That's a marijuana.
But I think that's one of the reasons why he was made the assistant, because he knows he's mapped it out already. I really believe that's why he's there. No other reason than for this Ukraine.
Yeah. I listened to the Bannon, Real America's Voice, and you get a lot of course, you get Mike the Pillow Guy on there all the time selling pillows, but that Mike Lindell, the pillow guy.
I tried to get a hold of him when I had my pack to give me some money.
Yeah.
Could never get a hold of him.
Yeah, well, he's busy. They're
best.
chasing him around. They're trying to arrest him every neighborhood, for Christ's sake, like he's doing something wrong. Selling pillows, this guy. And then, could you imagine going after a guy selling pillows?
You know what's great?
What kind of world do you live in? You wake up in the morning, let's go get the pillow guy.
And again, the crazy ass left, David Hogg, that scumbag, that grifter.
Yeah.
He tried to start his leftist pillow company.
Did he?
Yeah, it went bankrupt.
Did it? Okay.
Now he's the vice president of the Democratic Democratic
DNC?
Committee. Yeah, the DNC.
Yeah.
They made him the vice president.
Yeah.
Way to go. Keep doing what you're doing,
Keep
Democrats.
failing.
Yeah, you guys are just keep
Fail
digging
on
your
your
hole.
way up. Isn't that the Democratic way? Fail up.
Yep. Well, it's not. When
That is the
first lesson when you're digging a hole, stop digging.
stuff.
They just keep digging, boy. I love it.
Keep digging.
They're a disaster.
I love the fact that that there's so much fear out there that they're yelling at the top of their lungs about what's going on. Listen, listen. I don't really want to run a Sesame Street class in Afghanistan. I just don't want to pay for Sesame in Afghanistan. Now, the Afghanis can pay for it if they want. I'm okay with that, but I don't want to pay for it.
We've discussed that. There's ways they had to usurp laws involving the CIA, and they use the USAID, and that actually could be going to a lot of good stuff. We don't know. Not all of it.
I don't know.
Not all of it was,
No,
but
right.
some of these programs were CIA.
Well,
things
maybe it was a
that were
$22
good.
million Sesame Street program that came $20 million back to the
Or that,
to the
or
people that wrote the
I
check,
think-
and that's what I really think is going on.
We're going to find that out with Bongino. My thing is to bring it back to Zelensky and his disgraced Oval Office performance, because he's a fouled actor.
What a lousy human being to pump his chest out,
You know, he called J.D. Vance a bitch.
Yeah, to pump his chest out in the Oval Office or whatever.
Called the Vice President of the United States a bitch in the Oval Office on camera.
Yeah.
They've heard it. It was not.
Yeah, I know. I didn't hear it, but
we don't speak Ukrainian.
Yeah, I know. I heard that he said that.
Yeah, you can hear when they broke it down. You hear him mutter it, and it's just you're in the Oval Office. You're supposed to have respect, and I would think any one of us that are on camera in their country would give the same decorum and respect.
How about
to that
this?
office.
When they show his like one of his secretaries.
Oh God, dude.
She's going like this with her head in her hands.
Anybody like the Democrats saying, it's Trump's fault.
Yeah. Go look
at his secretary.
Go look what his secretary's doing over there. She's covering her face. Oh my God.
His
shut
secretary
up.
was embarrassed. It wasn't Trump. It was Zelensky.
Yeah.
Everybody.
How could you spin that?
Listen, they'll spin anything that they're told to spin. It's still propagandized.
It's insane. I just can't take
it. The American people have come to see this. Mainstream media, I think it's less than 10% belief in them in the public, which is amazing. I think the Democratic Party's down to 33% approval rating, which is unbelievable. I've never seen that. Not in my lifetime.
Well, there's 33% of the people are crazy.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much where they're at. 30% of lunatics.
33%.
They're down to the lunatic.
Listen,
meter.
listen, they have altruistic policies that are wonderful. Let's be honest with each other. Oh, wonderful. Everybody's wonderful. Everybody gets this. But, take care of me first.
We need empathy. We need empathy in the world.
And I have it. Believe me. We don't act like it, but we do. You do. I've seen you do some kind things for strangers, panhandlers. I've seen you treat people really well.
Don't tell anybody.
Yeah, because they'll be knocking on your window.
Yeah,
they'll be knocking on your window, right? But
and
yes.
Vice versa. Republican platform and the conservative platform and libertarian, they have empathy and they have platforms, but they have common sense.
Correct.
Which is what we're lacking.
Like $60 million for luxury hotel rooms in Manhattan for people that don't even belong.
How about if you get locked? How about if you get locked up in New York City? They're giving you $1,000 gift cards after you get arraigned and let go.
Oh, yeah. What's this?
A couple years ago, they're giving out.
They're doing it now.
Knicks tickets. I don't think they're doing it anymore.
I could use a fresh grand.
Dude, you were getting out of prison. Hey, listen, make sure you show up to your arraignment. Here's Knicks tickets.
Really?
Here's $1,000 gift card. Oh yeah, dude, they were giving that all out in the 2000s.
I need one. Let's go. Let's go through the city. Take a little quick pinch. Maybe get a misdemeanor. We'll plead to a violation, and we get a grand.
Yeah.
And we can pay Marvin for the next 2 wins. He's okay with it.
Yeah, Marvin's good with it.
Marvin's good with it.
Oh, I think where are we at, Marvin? Okay. All right. Yeah. So, but back to Ukraine. Zelensky, I think, has obviously he overplayed his hand. Things that have been going bad for him. I don't believe.
How about when Trump said, "You don't have any cards," and he goes, "I'm not playing cards."
Yeah,
you're a wise ass.
He can't. He's.
Could you imagine when I'm not playing cards?
Yeah, but again, and I love how Trump was cool and calm. He let JD talk. There's a lot of other men in his position that wouldn't be man enough to let other people take, and the mainstream media can't give him credit for that.
Right.
And they try to overplay like, Trump was upset or, Trump couldn't do it, so hey, JD Vance do it. It's like, which one do you want? Is it does he get upset?
You want Trump to be a scumbag. You want him to be mean. Now he's being nice, and you're mad at him.
Yeah, he's being presidential. Yeah. I mean, he's letting. I think one of the biggest.
He shows deference to people he hires. Does that make sense?
Yes. So that's his biggest strength is he hires people and he puts them in the correct place. Right. It's one thing that I like to do. I've been running a security company for years, and one of the things I take pride in is you can have, and I always use a sports analogy. You can have the best players in a sport, and if you put them in the wrong positions, you're gonna lose.
Right.
But if you put everyone in the right position, you don't have to have the best players.
Have them working.
If you have decent players and you put them in the right position to succeed,
they call that Moneyball. They call that Moneyball.
Yeah, Moneyball.
They call that Moneyball. When the Oakland A's had 25 of the middle ball players in the league, paid them nothing, and they were in the World Series. Were they not in the World Series that year? I think. I don't know.
And that's Trump's strength. He knows how to put people and use them to their strengths and to his benefit
to
help get. And
that's business.
He's done that in business. He's doing it in politics. Although he didn't do it as much as he did the first time around because he was never in politics.
Well, he didn't know what he was up against.
He didn't realize
he didn't know what he was up against.
I mean, look at it. And again, people, Trump's a felon. No, he's not. He's not a felon. It's all nonsense.
That's all going to be dismissed, every bit of it.
The most investigated man in the history of the world.
Yeah.
And that's all they can get him on.
Yeah, bookkeeping.
They had to fabricate and bend laws
change the statute of limitations. They had to change the law that he'd be in charge with the federal law in a state courthouse. I mean, you can't even make that up.
Nope. It's so against our judicial system.
And you didn't have to find him guilty of a specific crime.
As long as they all add up.
As long as they add up to a crime.
Yeah. I've never heard that either.
Yeah, there's no real crime. So in other words, money.
They didn't even tell him what the crime was until after. Dude, it was the most insane thing ever. And that's all you got on this man.
And the 12 people in the jury can agree that there was a felony committed that ties this misdemeanor that they're charging him with to having committed this misdemeanor during the process of any one of these 3 felonies.
Yeah.
But you don't have to agree on the felony.
No, you don't. And we don't know which felony. We're not going to tell you exactly what the crime is until after you guys make a decision.
Yeah, I want to be
bizarre.
That's monkey.
But think about
what's that called?
Monkey business?
Monkey business.
I mean, that's...
Kangaroo, I'm sorry.
Yeah, kangaroo court. It's a banana republic. Is what the Democratic Party has turned this country into. And, if you look at it, that's all they got him on. And seriously, even the people that hate him, you got to take a step back and look at what he was tried for. Stop it.
Yeah, and what do you hate? He's a grandfather. He's a grandfather. He's going to be a great grandfather.
For years, they investigated.
He's actually a pretty decent guy,
My favorite one is the loan he took out, paid to the bank with interest. They got all their money. The bank was like, we don't want to. We
We'd love
don't
to
want to be
loan them
involved.
more.
We want to do
wanna
more
loan
business
them
with
more
them.
money.
And they find him guilty. This is again. He took a loan and overvaluated at Mar-a-Lago. They just sold a property for like 160 million down the street for Mar-a-Lago. I think he had like 300 or 400 million, probably right around there.
It was assessed at $18 million by the government.
By the government, 18 million.
Yeah, it's a $500 million property minimum.
A property down the road sold for 160 million. That's a tenth of what
a property, not a sprawling golf course estate. Yeah,
so that's one of your crimes that you always say he's a felon. He took a loan and paid it with interest.
Yeah,
and the bank wants to keep doing business.
And the bank had to okay.
So this is the crimes that Trump they got on. Come on.
Bad guy. Man. Oh, he did rape some girl, but not really.
No, yeah.
He didn't rape her, they say, but
then
they call him a rapist.
Yeah, she goes on CNN and says she loves rape.
Oh boy, rape is sexy.
Yeah, it's sexy, and I fantasize about it. Like they're like, oh, okay, pull her off.
Could you imagine saying
whack
that?
job? Yep.
And then finding her to be credible
from 35 years ago. My favorite thing was like Trump's like, look at her. You think I do that? Like that's all you needed is your defense. Like, seriously?
Yeah. Well, the funny thing was, and people, the ironic, not funny, is across the street's the Plaza Hotel.
Yeah.
Who owned the Plaza Hotel?
Who?
Donald Trump.
Yep.
If he wanted to be a piece of tail, he could have said, listen, sweetheart, I don't need to take you to the bathroom. I own that big building across the street, right next door.
Guy never drank, doesn't do drugs. You know what I mean? Successful.
He's not like us.
No, they try to say he's, it's a joke.
Not that we do drink or drugs, but have in our past. Not you personally.
Not me.
But I'm saying.
Never do that.
No, but you've had a drink or two.
Yes.
Just not on duty.
Correct.
Bull.
Never on duty.
That's a lie, and you know it.
Oh, then you got me. I'm a dirty cop.
You had one or two.
Yeah, every now and then.
Okay.
You have to.
Okay. Otherwise.
You're allowed to. I think Boston cops, I don't know if this is still, they're allowed to have 2 beers per shift.
It used to be that.
It used to be that. I wonder if they took that away.
It still is.
Yeah, I always loved that. And it was 25 years ago. It was still allowed.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that's it, man. We're wrapping up here.
That's a wrap.
What do you got?
That's good. We'll talk about it later.
Thank you, guys. Again, without you, we got nothing. Don't
forget to subscribe. Please hit the button.
GoodCopBadCopPodcast.com. You can check out all our socials. You can reach us at Rumble, YouTube, Apple, Spotify. Top 15% because of you. Please keep rating us. Share with your friends. You really help us out. Leave comments. Helps the algorithm, bumps us up so other people can see us.
You can hate us too. We don't mind.
We don't mind the haters. Leave us comments. You can tell us how much you hate Mike.
That's fine. I'm good with it.
Yeah, so am I.
Bring it.
I'll tell you. Have a good one.
Peace.
This episode is sponsored by AR Law, PA State Rep Martina White, Biondo Creative, Morrow Flooring, and Pops McCann Whiskey.